What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in the building with another banger, man. So first things first, I just want to go ahead and say thank you, God, for giving me this opportunity. Thank y'all for coming through. And man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Anybody looking to join the Rich Gang family, be sure to go ahead and turn on post notifications, hit that like button, and leave a comment down below when complete. So as y'all can see by the looks of the title and the screen today, I am bringing y'all the top 3 most rare unseen builds to use on NBA 2K22 next gen. And as y'all can see, first up on the list, I got a very rare all-around two-way build, and I'm telling you, this one is definitely going to have everything that you need out of it when it comes down to the defensive end, also on the offensive end, and this is a really well-rounded build that I'm bringing to y'all today. So I would appreciate it if you went ahead and go ahead to hit that like button and be sure to leave post notifications on, because I'm uploading every single day and I do not want y'all to miss any of the bangers that I got in store for y'all. So again, man, just know that I appreciate y'all, I love y'all, and I thank y'all. Now let's go ahead and get into the making of this build. So the first thing you want to go ahead and do, make this build at 6'6". When it comes down to the weight, I decided that for my liking, 180 is going to be perfect with a 7 feet exactly wingspan. Now if you want to, you can go with anything other than 7 foot when it comes down to that wingspan. But if you do feel like going about it very specifically on a certain wave, you definitely can do that. Now, when it comes down to the breakdown of each and every individual attribute, not only for this build, but all 3 builds in general, you have to go ahead and make sure each stat is exactly the way that I'm bringing it to y'all. Because if you go about it a different way, I'm telling you, you are going to risk changing up the build name, and that is something that I definitely do not want happening to y'all. So again, just know that for those of you who are new, I am bringing y'all builds every single day, and what I'm looking to do is just to continue to grow the Rich Gang family. So let's go ahead and get back into the making of this build. As you can see, with that driving dunk, we are going to be able to do a lot of different things on the finishing end. One being able to get contact dunks. Now, once it comes down to the shooting, I'm going to go ahead and put that midi to an 86, max out the 3-pointer. Now that's going to leave us at a total of 28 shooting badges. 17 for the finishing. We did put a good amount of attributes into the playmaking, so we get 27 and 20 in total for the defensive end. Now, if you go anything higher than above a 75 vertical, I believe, the build name is going to change, which is why I did not go to that threshold of 80. However, if you do want to go about making this build that way, you definitely can. Again, it all comes down to your personal preference, the way that you want to use this build, as well as the way that it's being built. Now, as you can see, with the takeovers, we got the shot creating, sharpshooting, playmaking, and then finally, we do get the lockdown defender takeover. So whichever takeover you decide to go with, remember, you're getting a +10 attribute boost to that area of the build. So for example, for the shooting, right here with the limitless range, we're getting a +10 to our shooting. Then for the defensive one, a +10 to our defensive area. And as y'all can see, we have made the first legit all-around two-way build, and look at that comparison of Jaylen Brown. Really going to be a good one. Now let's go ahead and check out which build made number 2 on this list, and I'm telling you, I put it specifically at number 2 because of the versatility that we're going to be able to get. And as y'all can see, we are making number 2 the point forward out of the small forward position with a post-scoring takeover. I am telling you right here, right now, as we go along with these builds, they are only going to continue to get even more special as well as rare with what they come with. Now, I truly just need y'all to know, if you are still watching, we are about to be more than halfway through the video, and y'all still have not hit that like button. So what I need y'all to do right now, be sure to go ahead and get at least 50 likes on this video. Hit that sub button so you can join the RGF family, Rich Gang family, and also turn on post notifications because I'm uploading every single day. And since you did all that, you might as well as leave a comment so we can get in touch with each other. Now, when it comes down to this next build, the point forward, like I said earlier, the builds only continue to get even more rare, but also more better. Now, for the height on this build, I'm going with 6'7". As for the weight, I'm liking 181 with a 7'1" wingspan. Now, this is going to be the first ever point forward with contact dunks, which is something that really excites me about this build. Now, as you can see, the way that we are able to get that post scoring takeover is because we are actually going with an 85 post control, which is going to give us that threshold to unlock the post scoring takeover with a total of 25 badges. Now, once we go ahead and get into the shooting, this is going to be very special as well, because you're going to be able to go to an 82 mid-range and three-pointer. And what that means is if you add boost to this build, you are really going to be able to get the potential to get a 99 mid-range shot as well as a 99 three-pointer. Now, if you feel like going about this a different way, meaning lowering the shooting, you definitely can do so. But again, I'm making it perfectly to where you do not even have to worry about any of the numbers on this build. You're still going to be able to get the point forward build name. But the number one thing that you have to remember is that each and every individual stat of this build is very important and vital to keeping the build name with the contact dunks. Now, as you can see right here, we are going to be able to mix and match throughout this build what you want to take and what you want to give up. Now, what I mean by that is, as you can see, I did lower the stamina just so we can get a little bit better in the area of the free throw if you do decide to add to that area. But if you wanted to, you can even go ahead and upgrade the stamina. Now, my liking for the stamina is at least a 90. However, if you want to go anything lower, you definitely can do that. It all comes down to the way that you see yourself using this build, but more so importantly, if you're able to do what you want out of this build. So with the takeovers, as you can see, we do get the slashing, shot creating, playmaking, and the post scoring. So whichever one of these takeovers you decide to go with, it should be based off of your own preference. For my liking, I would really have to say that first picking one on the offensive end is honestly the best way to go about it. I'm going to go with ankle breaking shots takeover just so I get the ability to break ankles even more often. Secondly, I'm going to go with finishing moves. And as y'all can see, we have made the point forward build with contact dunks and the ability to get post scoring takeover. And I really like the comparison of Scottie Pippen on this build. Another Jaylen Brown comparison. Now let's go ahead and check out the third build on this list. Probably the most rare, which is going to be the skilled defensive anchor. Now, this build is going to be made out of the center position, but as you can see, we are able to get that playmaking takeover, which is honestly going to give us the ability to speed boost on a center build. Being so, that is a skilled defensive anchor. You already know that the defense on this build is definitely going to be serious. Now, I really just want to remind y'all, the way that you go about making any of these builds should be based off of your own preference. If you feel like going about it a different way, remember, you definitely can do so. This build is going to be the one that you are going to be using yourself, and I wouldn't want to alter that and making you play a certain way that you are not comfortable with. So, since you made it to the end, you might as well as hit that like button. Go ahead and comment down below, Rich Gang family, so I know who the loyals are. Now let's go ahead and get into the making of this build. So of course, the first thing we're going to go ahead and do is make this build out of the center position. As you can see, the height on this build, I'm going with 6'9". For the weight, 217 with a 7'7" wingspan. Now, for the body shape, I'm really liking how solid it's looking on this build. You can change it up if you want to. Normally, I do go with builds, but again, that all comes down to your personal preference. Now, this is pretty much what the badge count is going to be looking like. We have 25 finishing, 23 for the shooting, 17 for the playmaking, and pretty good playmaking stats at that. And then finally, we get a total of 24 defensive badges. Now, if you feel like going about this build any other way, remember, this is really all based on the way that you want to play with this build as well as your own personal play style. For my liking, I would definitely have to say that's going to take a huge hit and a huge factor to really go ahead and try to change some of the things about this build, because the way that I made it, you're going to be able to pretty much get everything that you need out of it. As you can see, the playmaking is there, the defensive end most definitely. Then when it comes down to the shooting, you're also able to get a good amount of attributes. Then finally, once it comes down to the finishing, that is what's really going to put everything together, allowing us to be able to get all of the contact dunks that we're going to need. But then also on top of all that as well, the offensive end for this build definitely is going to be one that is very versatile in my opinion. Now, as for the badges, you actually do have everything that you're going to be needing when it comes down to this build, in my opinion. When it comes down to the defensive end, the Hall of Fame badges we unlocked are going to be perfect. Then to go with the playmaking, making this build even better. And I'm really surprised that for a center build, you're going to be able to, with boost, get the ability to speed boost as well as with the takeover. Now, we get the sharpshooting, the playmaking, also the lockdown and rim protecting. So it really comes down to which one you want to pick. For my liking, all of these are very solid, but then again, it really comes down to your playstyle and what you want to do with this build. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that up to you. But man, just know that for those of you who made it to the end, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. To join the Rich Gang family, go ahead and turn on post notifications, hit that like button, and be sure to leave a comment down below when complete. Let's go ahead and check out the build name. And as y'all can see by the looks of the title and your screen, we have made the Skill Defensive Anger. Thank you, God, for giving me this opportunity once again. Shout out to y'all. And man, with all that being said, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.